Welcome back everyone, it's Charlie. This is going to be my new Marvel MCU Ghost Rider video. There was some recent announcements about what's going on with the project. They actually just put up some casting listings, so I'll explain what's going on. There's a bunch of Easter eggs. We know a little bit about what's happening with the darker side of the MCU going into Marvel Phase 4. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the Marvel videos. We're doing a giveaway for the new Spider-Man Miles Morales PlayStation 5 game. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and post all your MCU Ghost Rider theories on the video. So just starting with the big stuff first, recently an official talent grid for Marvel's new Ghost Rider project officially went up on a legit production website. Apparently we're not allowed to screen cap those or we'll get sued. I'm not sure who's going to sue us, Disney, Marvel, or the production websites. But those sites are for movie and TV industry insiders, letting everyone know that works on those projects when there's work to be had, when they're casting, when they're filming, so that everyone who wants to work on those projects knows when to apply for positions or submit actors. The information doesn't say whether it's a Marvel Phase 5 movie like the new Blade movie or a Disney Plus series like Moon Knight with Oscar Isaac. Can't wait to see what that's going to look like. But recently, Deadline, Variety, Hollywood Reporter, The Wrap, all the major Hollywood trade publications posted features on the changes going on behind the scenes at Disney this year. As you would expect, because 2020 has been such a crap year for everyone, including mega companies with infinite money like Disney, they've accelerated their transition to what you would call a direct-to-consumer model of their business. The way the Disney CEO talked about it the last couple of months is that the majority of their focus is on developing stuff for Disney+, deprioritizing traditional TV shows and also kind of theatrical releases. They're always going to release their bigger Marvel movies in theaters, like the Black Widow movie is currently coming out in May. They're still going to release that in May, but you wait and watch. They're going to drop that video on demand so quickly after they drop it in theaters. The way they release things is going to look a little bit different in the next couple of years. That's why I think the title for this new project, which is just listed as Marvel's Ghost Rider, just implies that they're intending it to be a Disney Plus series alongside Moon Knight in a couple of years. You'll also be surprised to hear that a lot of the trades were reporting that most of Kevin Feige's attention right now is actually on the Disney Plus series, more so than he's focusing on the Marvel movies. What you would call the machinery behind the scenes for them making their big Marvel Phase 4, Phase 5 movies, even the big Avengers movies, it's well established. There's this giant support structure, there's clear timelines for everything. It's much easier for them to get the movies out now than the Disney Plus series. So Kevin Feige is still kind of figuring that out right now. But number 4, most of you will remember, this is not the first time that Marvel has tried to do a Ghost Rider TV show. Recently, you may have all seen the Hellstrom Marvel series on Hulu, even though they took a lot of the Marvel branding off of it. It is a Marvel show, it is a Marvel character. The episodes are up right now. I just did a video for the ending, so I'll link it in the description. But they kind of canceled it after the first season was done, like they aren't continuing with the show. It's a one-season show. Originally, it was intended to set off a Midnight Suns Hearts of Darkness style Ghost Rider universe of crossover shows, like a new version of the Marvel Netflix series but on Hulu because Disney owns Hulu now. Originally, Marvel had intended to put all their darker, R-rated, hardcore stuff that they gotten in the Fox purchase, like the Deadpool movies, on Hulu because Disney Plus was supposed to be firmly PG-13. Now they're actually talking about building a special section of Disney Plus that's locked with adult passwords so that children can't get into them, so that they can have the children's side of Disney Plus for all the younger programming, but they can also put all their Deadpool R-rated stuff on there too. So number 3, the new Ghost Rider universe of shows would have originally been led by Gabriel Luna's version of Ghost Rider from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That would have been a big spin-off series for him, Robbie Reyes. That's because the people who were making the Ghost Rider series were the same people who made Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Jeff Loeb, the Marvel TV people, who all pretty much recently just got fired from Marvel. That was because Disney gave control of everything Marvel to Kevin Feige, so now Feige controls all the movies, like you would expect, all the TV shows, but he also controls all of Marvel Comics as well. Previously, the Marvel Studios people, Kevin Feige's team, only did the movies. The exception to that was the Agent Carter TV series with Haley Atwell. They actually produced that themselves. Kevin Feige himself even did some of the editing on that TV show. The Marvel TV people, Jeff Loeb's team, did pretty much all the other TV shows though. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they were also responsible for the Inhumans TV show, which we shall never speak of again, but they also did the Marvel and Netflix series. Some of them were actually pretty solid, like Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Punisher, and yes, they were to blame for Netflix Iron Fist. The new reports are saying now that this new version of Ghost Rider that Marvel is doing will not be Gabriel Luna's version. They're going to recast, it'll be Johnny Blaze, and with the exception of the multiverse, Doctor Strange 2, and the concept that everything is canon technically through the multiverse, the new Ghost Rider project will be a full reboot in the MCU. He'll be the main MCU version of Ghost Rider, and they'll treat it like the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider movies happened in another universe. But obviously there's always the opportunity for Nicolas Cage cameos. I haven't seen any legit casting rumors as to who they're looking at right now. I know everyone's top picks are Norman Reedus or Keanu Reeves. I see those names on every single video I've done in the past few years that even mentions MCU Ghost Rider. Kevin Feige actually had some funny comments about Keanu Reeves in the MCU last year. There was a leak last year that Keanu Reeves had gone to meet with Marvel about a Marvel Phase 4 or Marvel Phase 5 project, so everybody wondered what it was, what role, what character he'd be playing. After the fact, journalists got Kevin Feige in interviews, and he just said that the truth of the matter is that they had been talking to Keanu Reeves about playing a Marvel character since way back in the days of the first Avengers movie, Marvel Phase 1. That's almost 10 years ago. The way he talked about it, the reason why Keanu Reeves has not been in a Marvel movie before was just because they hadn't found the right character for him to play yet. So you think about all the big Marvel characters we've had so far and try to imagine Keanu Reeves playing them, and you're like, okay, I can kind of see how Keanu Reeves wouldn't want to play XYZ characters. That happens all the time, like Matthew McConaughey was up for a big MCU role a couple years ago and passed on it. When actors are that powerful and they have that much money, they don't need the extra check from Disney. They usually wind up passing if they don't completely identify or jive with a character. Keanu Reeves is a motorcycle fanatic. If you didn't know, he actually owns his own motorcycle shop that does a lot of customs. They're actually pretty fantastic. So if you live in the Los Angeles area and you ever caught him riding around town on his motorcycles, that's why. But if by some miracle that Keanu Reeves did wind up playing MCU Ghost Rider, it's a bit of a long shot, they would probably then try to turn the new Ghost Rider project into a movie. I think a lot of it just depends on which actor they get. Like Oscar Isaac is playing Moon Knight. He's a huge actor, but Moon Knight is such a weird character. That's why they're doing it as a Disney Plus series, and then Oscar Isaac Moon Knight is going to cross over into the movies. Even if a brand new character debuts in a Disney Plus series, they're still technically viewed as a movie character because all the Disney Plus series are influencing the plots of the Marvel Phase 4, Marvel Phase 5 movies, and the characters will cross over into them. For those of you that are big fans of Norman Reedus too, the problem with Norman Reedus Ghost Rider is that he actually wouldn't have time to do a Marvel series or even a movie because he just signed a new deal with the Walking Dead people for a Daryl and Carol spin-off series from the main show once that ends next year. But number one, most likely scenario, just based on the way their new Disney Plus shows are coming together and darker MCU stuff, the new Ghost Rider project is probably going to be part of their larger Midnight Suns Hearts of Darkness crossover plan with the new Blade movies and the new Moon Knight series, and any other darker Disney Plus series that they do. Kevin Feige said that they were always looking for a way into the darker, supernatural MCU characters, like Blade is going to introduce vampires into the MCU, and Doctor Strange has been the key to that. They had to wait till after they did the first Doctor Strange movie before they could start doing the really crazier supernatural characters. Right now, they're actually getting ready to film Doctor Strange 2 in the next couple of weeks. Elizabeth Olsen was just talking about that. Scarlet Witch herself, she just finished the Wandavision series. Now she's heading over to England to film the movie with Benedict Cumberbatch because she's one of the main characters. We're going to get all those WandaVision episodes in January. Of course, I'll be doing videos for all those episodes, but that's going to directly set up the plot of Doctor Strange 2 with its multiverse arc. But Doctor Strange 2 is going to get even crazier with that because it's coming after a bunch of other Marvel Phase 4 movies. That's why everyone's talking about Spider-Verse Easter eggs in Spider-Man 3, live-action Spider-Verse Easter eggs. They're also filming Spider-Man 3 with Tom Holland right now, and Doctor Strange is a main character in that movie, along with Jamie Foxx's Electro from the Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man movies. I do have a new Spider-Man 3 video and an MCU Daredevil video that I'm working on. I should be able to post those pretty soon, but just let me know in the comments who you want the new MCU Ghost Rider to be and who you want him to cross over with. I'll also be posting my full Mandalorian Season 2 Episode 5 video on Friday, just like normal. So as long as you have alerts enabled for my channel, you should see all those videos when they post. Big shout out to Daniel Richmond for giving me the new Ghost Rider production info for my video. He actually has a Patreon where he does a lot of scoops, so if you're really into that stuff, he actually does that on the side. Congratulations, Los Malone, you're the winner of the Spider-Man Miles Morales PlayStation game giveaway from my last big Marvel video. Please contact me on the About page of my channel so I can get your details. Everyone click here for my new Mandalorian Season 2 Ahsoka Tano video, and click here to learn about the big Thor 4 Avengers 5 announcement. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I'll see you guys tonight.